Tim Terry, you played all the way through this game. You gave it a 2. This is Game Informer's Test Chamber. I'm Andrew Reiner. What went wrong here, Tim?
I think we're about to see a little bit of that.
Okay. And playing the game is intern Jason Daphnis. Hello, sir.
Hi.
And Kyle Hilliard's here just for his own sick amusement, I guess. He saw the 2 and is like, I have to see this game.
I'm here to spectate.
But actually, Kyle, you thought this game looked good.
Okay, let's soften that a little bit. I played this game at Comic-Con. I played about the first 20 minutes or so, and I walked away somewhat optimistic. I was like, this, all the trailers and everything, it hasn't looked like a great game, but you're sort of collecting items that let you explore more. It looks like it's sort of trying to structure similarly to the recent Tomb Raider. I was optimistic, and clearly that was just totally wrong based on Tim's lovely review score.
Tim, what was your initial takeaway when you started playing the game? And obviously, by the end of the game, it was awful, but...
I mean, it started off pretty rough, but playable, totally uninspired combat and environments and enemies and all that. There was nothing remarkable about it, but there wasn't anything, uniquely offensive about it until, Jason was selfless enough to play a couple hours in, because my worst nightmare would be to sit down and play the first couple hours or the first 20 minutes, and people say, oh, that looked okay. Well, the game put its best foot forward, even though it was a nasty, terrible, bloated foot.
It was still standing on it without falling over.
Yeah, so now he's deep into it, and Jason's probably discovered that there's a lot more stealth in this game than you might expect, and that even if you go up next to a wall and try to stand up, see if it does that.
It does this usually.
I think I saw it a little bit. Like you'll be trying to click over into combat, and was it look at that. You can't stand up right now.
Because I'm next to this wall.
Because something with the geometry makes it as such that you can't. It thinks that you are, standing next to like a ledge or something. And then, so that's a death right there. That would be a death if you were being attacked and you tried to click over into combat. Enemies can kill you in about 2-3 swipes in this game. And you have to attack them considerably more.
And this is out now on what systems? We're playing on 360.
Yeah, it's out on... Oh, there's a spitter.
This is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's a zombie that spits poison.
Yes. It's on PS3, 360, and PC. So Jason's playing smart. He's playing it the way that the game is designed to be played right now.
It's because I tried this section like 4 times already.
And you have to be so cautious. But But it's not a caution that's from like good stealth mechanics. It's from like, my God, I'm going to lose some more progress. The checkpoints were so unreliable.
So hold on a second. So Zombie Apocalypse,
right?
Is that a collectible?
You can't vault.
They decided to go with stealth and less zombies on screen at once.
Yeah, there are definitely fewer zombies than most. If you're fighting any more than like 5 zombies at once, you're dead. So this is another stealth sequence. You're just supposed to look at that zombie and where he's looking. All right. Yeah, do it up, man.
I don't know. It takes 3 headshots.
It does.
What? To kill a zombie?
Yeah, to kill this zombie. To
specifically,
kill a spitter.
the spitters are a little bit stronger.
Oh.
And then here's the other punishment for. Okay. Oh, that guy's there.
Yeah.
And you got a stealth kill for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Be fully alerted.
What's happening?
Also, did you see an indication that you were really taking so much damage that you were about to die?
None.
I don't think so either.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Like
He died.
literally, I can't tell.
He dies, but it's like
He got spit on.
Cliff here, our friend Cliff, who is the worst protagonist, is losing his mind. I guess. I think it's implied that he's. What was blocking you from standing up? I didn't even see anything.
The picnic table.
Oh, boy.
The leg on the picnic table.
So basically, he's losing his mind. I think it might be a side effect from being bit or something like that.
On his arm there, I see it.
Yeah, I mean, they try to be subtle about everything, and it's just clear right away.
If I got bit by a zombie, I think I'd want to get bit right there. That's where you get shots, right? It hurts.
right.
It hurts a little for a bit, but you can wrap it up easily.
That's right. So this guy, Cliff, begins the game, which Jason, I'm sure, saw by like just being the biggest asshole. So, like he just goes up to his he goes up to his friend and steals her notebook, and she's like, "Hey, I'm using that." He's like, "Yeah, what? I'm gonna take these notes now." And then she's like, "Can you go get my tape recorder? Don't listen to it." And he's like, "Of course I won't." And then he just immediately starts listening to her notes.
That defined the character
Yeah.
for me. Like that's
Wow.
the first thing he does.
And then she says to him, "Keep on douching in the free world."
Whoa.
And then he riffs on it and he says, "The douche abides."
Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, I understand.
A really clever line.
Obviously.
Oh, look at him.
He looks like he would get along with Far Cry 3's
He
protagonist.
looks
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he
Like,
looks
they'd be good friends.
douchey,
Trust fund
handsome
kid.
Jack.
Oh god.
That's handsome Jack before he put the mask on.
This is bringing it all back.
Tim,
But anyway, so that's this.
Tim, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
This is the
So keep
character
checking in on
you
you.
got to spend the entire game with, and the supporting
Does
cast.
he grow? Does he become a nicer person?
I think they try. He's dealing with some father issues.
If they're trying, it's not working. Let's say that.
And I think this ties in with the this ties in with the Dead Island series, like the proper Dead Island series. I think this is technically a prequel. Try just using the picnic tables.
As
So
cover?
wait until he's not looking.
As
Well, you should be fine. Hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. So then he's looking for that. You got to watch him carefully.
wait, the picnic.
So when
Look
he
at
looks,
that. I can see him through it.
it doesn't. Throw that
up,
out the window, Jason. All right. So take a look at him. You have to pay close attention through the thick, sloppy cell shading, and when he's not
which
looking
way
at you,
he's looking.
it's
He looks three
important.
directions.
It's important. I found
head
this
looks
out
flat.
after about half a dozen. No, not that way. Not that way.
that
Go
way?
back. Go back.
Oh.
Okay.
So one thing the developers explained to me at Comic-Con was, in most stealth games, soldiers give up on searching for you after a certain point, which is unrealistic. But zombies, they really would stop searching for you after a certain amount of time.
That's true. Now go.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
wait.
so-
I'm not going to cut it that close.
So this is Jason he's very fortunate in this position, not because he's playing the game, but because I've survived this. So this wouldn't be going quite as smoothly without me here. And I'm
Well,
just,
we saw that not as smoothly just a few
Right.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
for sure. So now he has an opportunity to close in for a stealth kill, which are just a crapshoot. Okay, you got it. That's good.
So this is developed by Fat Shark. What
Yeah.
else have they done?
Fat Shark, I think, is most known for Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, which was the follow-up to the great Grin game. The sequel wasn't as great. People weren't as big of a fan of that. And then they did like War of the Roses. I think they did some other smaller games, but this is, I think, their most high-profile release. Oh, I don't know how this is going to end for you, but
Seems like
He
such
was
a
already
weird
spitting at
idea
me
for
as
a
the
zombie game.
A stealth zombie
well,
game.
I mean, you look at the Dead Island franchise, and what do we got? Okay, Dead Island 1, which was a surprise hit, still buggy and not great. And then you got Dead Island Riptide, which they didn't call a sequel, and Techland was working on. And then Techland leaves, goes to do Dying Light with Warner Brothers, which is essentially a follow-up, a spiritual
Right.
successor. And now Jaeger is handling Dead Island 2, and then you also have the MOBA, Dead Island Epidemic. So this series is like, its identity is so odd.
It's spreading itself thin.
It's
And I mean, you said this is a tie-in. I couldn't tell you. I played all the way through Dead Island 1 and a bit of the re-release, whatever that was called, or the follow-up.
Riptide.
And I couldn't tell you what happened in those games. The characters, I know I got off the island or whatever.
Well,
but
right. The story does definitely take a back seat to just the action, which is the star. And this is the opposite here. It's good. You got some melee combat going on here. I found that like heavy hits left you so vulnerable that they were
They are
practically
horrible.
useless unless you were fighting specific bosses. And bosses, I use that term loosely because it's just stronger zombie types that sometimes they force on you.
I guess it's good that this jerk of a character is just terrible at combat. That makes me feel better about him.
I mean, yeah, because you get to see him get his butt kicked a
Right.
lot, but then through that, you also have to suffer a lot.
There was a collision problem there. He slid out.
So can you tell me a little bit about some of the insanity stuff? Because like I said, what I played at Comic-Con, there was this thing where like these storage units were like falling from the sky. And that
Hold
kind
on,
of
look
thing.
at this lighting. Sorry,
What
Kyle.
in
Go
the
back.
world?
Go out. This lighting just blows my mind.
What?
Look at that.
Wait, go inside
Go
and
inside.
then look outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see nothing.
What happened
Yes,
there?
I know. Now try to
Guys,
explore a
guys,
little bit.
he has glaucoma.
Oh,
Don't
Cliff.
make fun of him.
Sorry, Cliff.
So it's like, are you not supposed to be here yet?
I
like,
can't even move.
I don't know what's blocking
There are
you.
invisible walls
Why could you
everywhere.
even come in here?
I can't
Well,
run.
clearly this room turns it into nighttime.
Anyway, this
It's a
has
nighttime room.
This has nothing to do with the madness effects. You're not even supposed to go here yet. What Kyle's talking about is, early on, Jason.
Well,
I think,
actually, that could have be a madness effect. Just
that's very nice of
going
you.
wrong failed.
That's very nice of you to say. But essentially, what's going on is after he gets bit or wounded or whatever, he starts seeing things. One of the earlier things you see, which they recycle a couple times, is like cargo containers from ships and trains like falling down onto the beach. He
like that idea.
It was a cool thing, but then they just use it too much. It's a weird motif. He starts getting chased by like a subway for some reason. He starts hearing things. My favorite moment is he's in like this parking lot or this kind of like hangar takeoff like runway, and lightning strikes and it blows up this car, and then time stops, and you can lure the zombies into the lightning, and they actually get electrocuted by like this lightning that's frozen in time, which is the coolest part of it.
such a lazy.
Oh my gosh! And there's only two of those. Two of those animations.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you see some of the madness effects. The other stylish one is like the colors will change and it'll be like really black and white or reddish. But I mentioned this in my review, but there's games like Dead Space 2 or even like the Scarecrow sequences in Batman Arkham Asylum, which seem like this is trying to sort of evoke some of those moments, but in the clumsiest possible way. And some of what we're not going to see is how the difficulty ramps up. If this game had just sort of marched along at this annoying pace without being too offensive or too offensively awful or whatever, or highlighting how bad the combat is, it might have not been as terrible, but those final combat encounters are some of the most frustrating I've ever encountered.
This just reminds me of that game I reviewed, Dark.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
the vampire stealth game, which makes no sense either.
Sloppy, like, budget title or budget priced stealth, right?
Right. Well, I think that was full price.
Was
it's
that
probably
60?
budget now, but
Look at that keypad. I love this keypad.
Creepy Girl's Vengeance 2.
Wait, to the right on that door. Look at that keypad.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It takes you 16 tries.
What
and
could
you're
it
in.
be? I don't know.
Everything is like hyper simple. Like even the poster, Creepy Girl's Vengeance, like that.
Right.
Creepy Girls, like they couldn't come up with something or anything. I don't know.
They were going
Nothing cuter
they were
than
going
that.
for cell shaded, which is minimal in some ways, but there's another laptop in there.
Yeah, there are a couple of computers, but I just hate watching these things.
They're so I don't really understand.
They're not telling me anything.
And that's another thing is the other cutscenes besides these, they use this sort of like motion comic style effect that's been popular for a while since like Infamous but it's so sparse and there's such little to look at there that you don't even really understand the action that's happening here. They're missing like half the panels that they actually would need.
So that's like cheap cutscenes, doing still frames, but they didn't even put enough effort in to make them make sense.
Oh yeah.
What do you think his tattoo says?
Oh, and this character that's talking to him is from the first game. She's the blade expert. So I think what they're looking for here, Jason, is this when you're looking for like 3 different key cards?
Yeah, to be able to open one security door, I believe.
It's all you're doing is looking for key cards in this game.
Yeah.
Or you'll go down one road, they're like, oh, I gotta go find this guy. And then he's not there. And it's like, oh, guess he's not here. Now we're just going somewhere else. And then they might not be over there either. So you're just wandering on this island, which it gives the impression that it's open. But really, you're just wandering around doing these kind of fetch quest things. And you go. I remember there's one area where you just go through like this kind of rocky pass and up this ladder and down this ladder. And I remember going through that area back and forth like maybe a dozen times.
How long was the game, Tim?
I think it was probably about 8 or so
I'm so
hours.
sorry. I'm so sorry you had to play that.
+1 max health.
Yeah, that happens time to time, and I can't tell how much health they have.
Yeah, how much health do you have? There's no quantification of it that makes it like even like lets you understand how much health you have or how much damage you can take before dying. There's that. There's the light.
Nighttime room.
Yep.
Banishing the darkness, baby.
Oh, so it was just so that I could get the... And now the room is light everywhere.
I'm glad we got to hear one of his quips because he said, "Keep on rotting in the free world." There's 2 different Who references. There's "Keep on douching in the free world" and "Keep on rotting the free world," which he says constantly. He says YOLO. He yells YOLO. I'm not even lying about that. He is the biggest D-bag. And it doesn't help that he acknowledges that.
Oh, that targeting looks
Hey,
brutal.
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, I've had enough, so I'm going to go.
Kyle, you can't just leave in the middle.
No. You know
No,
what?
this is good. I'm good. I get it. I'll see you guys later.
I get where Kyle's coming from.
I want to stop playing.
This looks like a fun time. Thank you.
Wow, Kyle Hilliard is leaving Test Chamber. This is a first.
Kyle's one of like
Bye,
the most
Kyle.
patient guys I know too. So, oh gosh,
You're missing a lot.
he had good timing. So the way that it seems like that poison does sort of some damage over time on you. Oh, and the range that those spitters have. I don't know if you've encountered it yet.
Yeah.
But they can spit on you from clear across the map. And I was listening. I checked out a little bit of Polygon's review by Justin McElroy, and he called out something that stuck out to me too. These zombies can just see for another Who reference. They can see for miles and miles. Like they can see forever. And so just trying to make a stealth game out of a character that can see you from across the map before you can even really know they're there, it is so confusing.
I'm trying to distract them now by turning on an FM radio and playing techno.
There
Are
is
they
a
dancing?
He
Is that little guy dancing?
One guy.
there is a explodable barrel.
Yeah. I'm trying to lure them, and then
It'll kill you if you're too close.
I guess I'm only gonna get 2 of them. So
There you go. Nice work.
This is awful.
you can't stand when you're next to picnic tables.
You know, this is only some of it. There's some encounters, especially I don't know, Reiner, if you remember the boss or the enemy from Dead Island called the Berserker.
Yeah, the big guy?
Yeah, he was. They were like normal human
was that
size,
Goliath?
but they had. Yeah, you're thinking of the big guys in the straitjackets. There's these Berserkers that have they're like missing their hands, and basically they just have like sharpened arm bones sticking out.
Okay.
Those guys are in this, and the first one you fight, they're so fast, and their collision is so generous for them to hit you, and they're even just like feet away from you. I fought that guy probably for probably 2 dozen attempts. Just it was me and him on a helipad, and I thought I was like, this is it. This is going to be one of the only games that I can't finish for this review. It just is impossible. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And then I thought that was going to be like, oh, that's just some weird hiccup. But the game somehow tried to get harder and harder and harder.
Oh man!
If anyone can beat this game, I'm not telling you to. Don't play this game. But if for some reason you are sick enough to do that, I want to talk to you.
Tim, you should become the ultimate speedrunner at this.
My God.
You're probably one of the only, you and Justin, 2 of the only people in the world with a knowledge of it.
And, I hope it stays that way.
You could just record it and probably have the world record on it
It's
forever.
It's too late. Jason's playing right now, and I don't know if even for novelty, like I played through all of games like Rising Zan or Ride to Hell Retribution. I've played through games like that, and those at least have some sort of charm in their bizarre premise. This, it's just not so much.
So what do you think? Just all around, just flawed, not enough time in the cooker?
Well, right. It was almost to a point where the game was like just unplayable and almost unbeatable. I think for a lot of people, this would be an unbeatable game. There's no difficulty selection or anything like that.
I like all the achievements that are getting spit out
yeah,
here.
it's very generous. I've earned like 200 gamer score just
Go
playing
on.
it in like an hour.
It does really hand
It
him
was
I
out.
might have
really
to check this
weird.
out now. Sorry,
Oh.
Tim.
Reiner, I will not let you do that to yourself. You have
Can't
a
let you do
family.
that, Reiner.
You have a family, Reiner. So basically, yeah, this game to me is all but broken. It's the lowest score I've ever given a game. Before that honor went to Ju-On the Grudge for the Wii, which I think Jason, you and the other interns played during the Extra Life Marathon.
We did. We
little
didn't
bit.
get very far.
Well,
didn't have a lot of time.
No
but I feel
surprise.
like we saw the best and worst parts of that game.
Yeah.
In about 20 minutes.
Well, I think this is the same score. It's around the same score I gave Dark.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
I think that might have been a 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Awful,
I think
awful.
you can break through that
Yeah.
too. There's more to it than this. There's is it this section?
I don't
Oh
know.
my God,
Is it
this
this-
part. Oh, I dare you to get through this, Jason. I dare you.
This test chamber just got lengthened by about an hour and 45 minutes.
This was at least a dozen attempts.
Yeah?
This room.
What do we got here? If he gets through it on the first try, a lunch.
Yeah, I'll buy you a bowl of pho if you get through it on the first.
Let's go tomorrow.
Yeah, I totally would.
I think you're taking it for granted that I'm actually going to beat this.
Come on, Jason.
on your
I
first
want
try?
it.
You think you're gonna get on your first try?
I think Reiner's taking a bit for granted when he suggests pho.
We're doing it tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
This
Can I
is
turn off this
destiny.
flashlight, or does
So
it even matter?
I think that I don't remember, but I think it's the left bump. Or no, it's on the D-pad.
Look at my flashlight going through.
Yeah. It's on the D-pad if you
crates.
do want to turn it off, though. I think.
Nope.
No,
that's,
isn't it?
that's my
Or is
camera.
it left? analog stick click?
No. Right is reload. Left is stand. I don't think it does anything.
You know, it might be just an automatic thing. They might not be smart enough to really notice. So yeah, you can sneak through there.
Come on, bowl of beef.
Yeah, you got that guy?
Gah! They notice you just within like a 7-foot radius of tiptoeing.
He has a friend around the corner.
That went pretty well.
Yeah, I heard him.
He's just sitting there
That went pretty well.
eating some pho. Yeah.
And also, it blocks your stealth attacks if you can't stand up. So if you're next to a wall, you can't do a stealth attack.
That was a close call.
You just have to tap, 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 tap.
That was a really close call.
Okay, around the corner. There's one right there. I see.
Wait, where?
I just see a little like firefly thing over in the corner. What is that?
Is he dormant?
Oh,
Is
you
it-
mean like a little spark?
Yeah, over there. What's that?
Yeah, that's some collectible or animo or something like
Look
that.
at how it jitters. Like they never
Yeah.
sit still. All the HUD indicators.
And there's a guy up those
Heroin
stairs.
handshake.
I'll admit you are doing much better at this than I was.
I'm just, since I've got a lot of ammo, oh, there he is.
I think this is a mistake.
Oh, you're doing pretty good. You just need that key card and you need to get out.
Is that another
Uh-oh.
It's looking pretty
tribulation?
good. This is going way smoother for you than me. But that's not.
Oh, no.
That's not all, Jason.
Oh, no. Well, at
That's
least I was blocked from standing
Not
up.
all.
I don't feel like I'm going to make it through this.
Ooh.
Oh!
Yes!
You dummy.
I am a stealth assassin.
But now is he just dormant, facing the direction that you need to?
Yeah, and he sees my nothing. And he's getting more and more freaked out.
What is he looking at?
I don't
How did
know.
he see you? You were completely hidden. I can't begin
It's a
to.
dead end.
Oh,
That's
he
what
says
Cliff
that a
just
lot.
told me.
He'll also say mind under matter sometimes.
What?
Oh. Butt shot.
I can't get him, though. I can't get him, though.
Well-
You can't shoot him?
I can't stand. I can shoot him in the butt, but I only have 5 bullets left. That's not going to kill him. He has
All we
a
have to
nice
do is
head.
get out of this room to get pho, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it.
Should I just make
Do it.
a run for
Oh,
it?
it's giving you a stealth kill.
No, I
But
can't do it because I
he's-
can't stand. I'm
Yeah,
tapping
he's,
A.
He's blocked from standing
This is
up.
Pull
ridiculous.
the zombie underneath.
Right?
That'd be cool
In real life,
in real life.
What's over here?
I think somebody noticed me because
Someone's-
that
I
little pulse
hear
happened
something.
Something saw you. I don't know how you didn't trigger all the zombies.
by shooting, by blowing them all.
Well, I mean,
away.
there's a lot that are dormant on the ground.
Should I go for him or should I go for the door?
I mean,
All we have to do is get out the door.
Get out that door.
Right, Tim?
I mean, yeah, you just gotta make it
But
through
do you
this
think
room
it's going to
alive.
be locked? If
No, I think you might have it.
Maybe this is what the game prides itself on: is this ability to like force you to make a decision
Mm-hmm.
over whether or not you get free lunch the next day.
Right.
Okay,
Dude, think of the noodles. Think of the beef.
I'm gonna go for it.
Oh, Noodle City! Yes, we did it.
I cannot
And it's
begin
light
to
again.
understand how that went so smoothly for you. But here's the other thing in this game: you will respawn, and enemies will be in different spots,
Yeah.
or it will like have
dead.
remembered some of your progress, but not
I'm
all of
dead.
it.
I'm dead. Because this is slowly taking my health away from me, but I can't tell how much.
Also, zombies can really give chase. Like they're incredibly fast. They're about 3 times faster than you. Hit you in about 2 hits.
For some reason, that was a stealth kill.
Yeah, even though you weren't in stealth at all, I guess it was
That
depending
collision
on
tech.
on his position. Oh, I remember this area. This is one of those areas you just go in and out of a lot.
Well, I don't think we need to see anymore.
Please,
This is
please,
a
God.
disaster.
Yeah, well-
Holy goodness.
Way to make it through that room, because like
Thank you.
it was just boring, right? Like that was just a boring sequence. It wasn't.
I could
like,
see how it
in-
could have gotten frustrating.
Yeah.
but I was only able to make it through because you said it was difficult to make it through. So I was plotting every single step.
Yeah.
It was not stealth enjoyment. It was just frustrating.
And
Yeah.
the stakes were big, though. Free
Oh,
bowl
yeah.
of soup. It's going to be awesome tomorrow.
That's true.
Let's
Are those Cheetos?
let's go home. Go dream. Think about the noodles in the morning, and let's have a good lunch and never think of this game again.
This game earns both of its review points.
And Tim, again, sorry you had to play this. That's just awful. This looks like the worst game of the year in my opinion so far.
I think that you're onto something, Reiner.
All right, that's Game Informer's Test Chamber, everyone. New episodes are on YouTube and Game Informer whenever new releases hit the market. Come back, watch the videos, let us know what you think, and we'll see you then.
Oh, don't stop recording yet. This is a good place to end.
There you go.
It never explains why he's afraid of trains or whatever.
No.
The train chases him like the boulder in. Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen UHF. Weird reference.